This is the second time that we have done this video.
Yes.
Because someone didn't hit record.
It was very awkward.
It was. We're sad you missed it.
Yeah. So it should be better this time. This is a video that is just more about us, just a little bit of background story about us. In case you haven't watched all of our videos, you know, you might miss things here and there.
What the hell was that?
God.
So the first thing you have to know about us is we have 4 wonderful, absolutely utterly insane cats that appear in the background of our videos.
Yep.
And occasionally try to murder each other in their litter box.
That's where the sound came from. I don't even want to know. I don't want to go to that area right now.
Wasabi jumped out of the box and hit her head.
Have you seen her do this?
I have seen her do that. That's exactly why I know exactly what just happened. She does it occasionally, and if the litter box isn't latched, I will find the lid on the floor upside down because she's the tabby with the white belly.
Now you know our cats a little bit more in detail about their pooping routine.
Which is all you came to this video to find out about, was our cat's shit.
Pooping routine. We should name the video that.
Our cat's pooping routine and a bit about us. Why? Why?
First things first, we are a couple, in case you didn't know. A lot of you have asked us. There's actually a question we get here and there in the comments. We've gotten it a lot. We have been together for 3 years. We are engaged, and we have no idea when we're gonna get married.
Yeah, because the original plan was 2020, and for obvious reasons, that did not happen.
So, not sisters, not friends,
not roommates.
I'm originally from Puerto Rico. I was born in New York, but I was raised in Puerto Rico, so I didn't learn English until middle school when I moved to Florida. If you notice a little bit of an accent, it's because English isn't my first language. The way I got into video games was when the Nintendo 64 came out. That was actually my first console. I got it for Christmas. And when it came out, it was a very similar situation to the PS5. It was sold out everywhere. But I remember my mom calling all the stores around the island. I say the island, I mean Puerto Rico. And she found a store that had 2 left across the island. Across the island is like 2 hours. That's it. We drove 2 hours to go get this console, and that was my Christmas present. And my first game, the game that came with that, was Mario 64. I absolutely loved that game. At that time, it was like the graphics for that game were so amazing for that time. And I think it was the first time there was a game like that.
Like a 3D platformer, but it was also kind of, you were talking about being an open world.
Yeah, it feels like it was like open world. It might not be considered an open world game, but it felt like that. It's just the way it was designed. It was different. I mean, I was used to playing Mario on a Game Boy, so it was definitely something else. It was different. It was amazing at that time. I also really got into Zelda Ocarina of Time. That was one of my favorite games of that time. I spent so many hours playing that growing up. I would play games with my cousin who I grew up with. And one thing I remember is we would sit next to each other, just like me and Toni. I would just watch him play. I mean, sometimes we would play together like multiplayers, but mostly I would just watch him play. And we were really into the Resident Evil series, and I will love watching him play because then on my own time, I will play and know exactly what to do, how to beat the game, because I already watched my cousin go through all of the levels and, you know, just pretty much beat the game. That's something that helped me because I wasn't a really good gamer. I'm still not, but we're not gonna talk about that. Fast forward to high school, I played The Sims, Grand Theft Auto. When those games started coming out, those games were crazy, but Sims and Grand Theft Auto those were games that I enjoyed playing a lot throughout high school. But after high school, I completely stopped. Like, I did not play any games whatsoever at all. I had a few rough years, both financially and mentally. I worked a lot. I had 2 jobs, and I was going to college. So I had a lot going on at that time. And I don't know, the interest for video games just kind of faded out until I met Toni.
And I reeled her back in. So for me, I was born and raised in South Dakota. which is dead center in the middle of the United States, for those of you that don't know. The first games that I played, I was like probably 1 year old, sitting in my mom's lap playing thinking games and Amy's Primer. Well, watching her play them more than I was actually involved. Those were old DOS games, so the graphics were not, like, the games are very different than they are now, but they taught me, like, my colors and shapes and letters, things like that. Later on, I played Atari and Super Nintendo with my dad, and we spent a lot of time playing, especially Super Mario. Well, he actually played the game. I just played the first level over and over and over again, getting lives for him, because that was all I was capable of doing. But that was our bonding time. I was about 10 when my brother was born. So we couldn't really play video games together until I was about middle school, and he was, you know, just about getting ready for kindergarten. So we would play Ratchet and Clank or Sly Cooper, and we would do the little voices together. So he would be one character, I would be the other, and we would play those games together. And that was, you know, more bonding time. So to me, that's what video games have always been about, is just, you know, spending time with friends and family and stuff like that. After I stopped being cool, I had to start playing video games by myself because my brother was going on to do his own thing. So then I got more into solo RPGs. I liked going back to the old classics like Legend of Dragoon and Spyro, but I also got super into the Elder Scrolls games like Skyrim and all those. Probably the biggest one was Mass Effect. I spent so much time playing Mass Effect, especially the multiplayer, well into college, and actually a lot of my college essays I wrote were on video games and storytelling in video games, and just the whole industry has just always been a fascination of mine. So I started working my way through the Fallout games, and I was just starting Fallout New Vegas when I met Tiffany and stopped playing video games. Because, you know, pretty girl. And she wasn't a big gamer, so we were doing other things. But then one day, I found out that she liked Resident Evil. And the Resident Evil 2 remake was coming out. So I'm like, I have a plan. I'm going to lure her back into my world. So for one of our date nights, I made these little T-virus things in cups with pipe cleaners, and I set it all up to look super cool. I rented the game from Redbox because I didn't know if this was going to be a regular thing. I hoped it would, but for one night at least. So I got the game release day, we plugged it in, we played it for a couple hours, and we just had so much fun. We did end up buying the game after that. At some point we decided that we wanted to share all the fun that we were having with other people and connect people around the world, and so we started this channel.
You did pretty good this time.
Did I?
You didn't talk about donuts.
I thought about them, though. I went on a whole rant about donuts somewhere in the middle of our last take.
Yeah, the one that didn't record.
Yeah. It was beautiful. The history of donuts was involved, and the process, and how I can make them in my air fryer. I just have to figure out how. Comment below. Do you know how to make donuts in an air fryer? Please, tell me.
I guess for us, this is a way also to escape, because we work a lot. We put in a lot of work hours, and
we can go on adventures without leaving the house.
Yeah, especially with the pandemic going out, going
out, up, and around. It's all of the above. It's basically a snow.
Yep. We have reached over 3,000 subscribers, and that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. When we think about 3,000 people, and I know this is not a big channel or anything, but when we think about 3,000 people watching us,
it's a lot.
That's a lot of people. And we have some videos out there that have gotten a lot of views, and it's kind of scary to know that a lot of people have, I don't know, like, seen us.
Yeah, especially with some of the embarrassing stuff that we've done.
Yeah, and we do very crazy stuff. Like, I don't know, we're just silly, and we're silly all the time. Well, mostly her, and then she gives it to me, and then I become silly, but I'm more of a serious person.
It's contagious.
But yeah. Eventually, we want to do a Q&A when we reach 5,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already and you want to support us, just hit that subscribe button. And also the like button. It really helps us out a lot.
A lot.
We appreciate you.
We love you guys.
Okay, it's getting awkward. Can we end the video now?
Is it awkward? Do you feel awkward? Do you? Okay, bye!